John, so after a late night game, a win over Kansas State, when do you guys as a defense dive into Baylor and get a real sense of what Baylor has to offer offensively?
Yeah, we'll probably start doing that today in our meetings and everything with our coaches. We couldn't watch them play yesterday because 2 days ago, because they were playing in overtime, kind of the same time we were. But I know a lot of guys watched the Baylor and Utah game, and I know a lot of guys have watched some film of them already, and so some of the players kind of have an idea already. But as a defense, we'll probably go over that today.
John, you probably passed Crew Wakely as you were shuffling chairs and whatnot in there. We just really talked to him and whatnot. Can I ask you just what kind of your first impressions were of Crew and what he brings to what he brings like on the field and the film is something that we can see, but what does he bring to this team is in the locker room from a leadership standpoint, that kind of thing?
Yeah, Crew is a guy that he's going to do what Crew does no matter what anyone tells him to. So when he first got here, we had a class together, and he was like, I was talking to him because we were both on the team, and I didn't really know him yet, but I just switched positions, and I was all worried. I was like, hey, I'm just worried that I won't start or I won't play, or maybe what if they don't like me? And from January 2023, Crew was like, I don't care if no one likes me. I'm gonna be the best safety we got. I'm gonna be a starter, and that was after our class one day at 8:30 p.m. So to see him doing this now, doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't surprise himself either, because the guy prepares the right way, and he's a heck of a player. Look how many tackles he had, and on that drive, I think it was in the third quarter. He saved a touchdown, him one-on-one with the tight end. That's not an easy play to make. So to see him kind of do that, and he's not ignorant or cocky or anything, but a lot of guys respect him because of the way he plays and the way he carries himself.
We'll take some more questions from Jay Drew and then Jay Catch.
Hey, John, I assume you were in that game against Baylor there in Waco, whatever it was, a few years ago. What were your impressions of the place? And will the kickoff time fairly early, how will that play into your preparation?
Yeah, I think it's a hard place to play. They bring a good crowd, and they're a tough team to play at home. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit hotter, especially on turf, a little bit of humidity. So there's that we got to prepare for. And the early kickoff, it's gonna be there regardless. I think the best thing you can do is just go to sleep a little earlier this week and wake up a little earlier. I think with the 10 a.m. kickoff, we gotta wake up at like 6 o'clock, something like that. So I think we just gotta get that in our minds right now, and we'll address it as a team and kind of get everyone on the same page, get our sports scientists talking to us to get us zoned in. But I think the early kickoff time shouldn't be that much of an issue.
John, you talked about the fact you changed positions during your time at BYU. You're not the biggest defensive tackle out there. What has led to you having success against some of these bigger offensive lines in the Big 12?
Yeah, a lot of it is technique and a lot of it's technique and the scheme of the defense. I've had the opportunity to work with some really good coaches. My defensive tackle coach, Sione Pua, he played in the league for a long time, and he's coached a lot of guys to go to the NFL, and he's played there for a long time, so he kind of knows what works for people and what doesn't. And I think the whole mentality of our defense of being more aggressive, kind of led me to play more aggressive, and that's helped me kind of take this whole thing on. But as far as defensive line goes, the basics are the basics. You got to stay low and strike with your hands and get knocked back. So that doesn't change whether you're playing D-end or D-tackle. So that and working hard this offseason, gaining weight, getting stronger with the new strength staff has led me to play at the level I am today.
You talk about Sione Pua. Can you also address how Gary Anderson and Chet Kay have helped you guys out as well?
Yeah, those guys have done a great job. Coach Anderson, he coaches the D tackles most of the time. Takes some time with the D ends each practice and talks to them, and the front seven a lot of times. But he's in the D tackle room for the most part, and he does a really good job coaching us up. And he's coached at every single level you can think of at the college level. He's been a coordinator, position coach, head coach, so he kind of knows how to handle he knows how to handle his role in this defense and in his role in this coaching staff, and he's done a really good job of complementing Coach Sione and Coach Hill and getting the defensive line and the front seven to work better together.
Okay, we'll take our last questions from Jason Shepard.
John, from the outside looking in, there's so much momentum building with this team right now. I'm just curious how much you guys feel that right now and feed off of, week after week, it's sort of building on each other. How much do you guys feed off of the momentum you've created right now?
We feed off of it. Obviously everyone does. Everyone's excited to win and everything, but football is an interesting sport because you get a week in between games. You get time to think. There's no back-to-back games. There's no tournaments or anything. You get a whole week to be humble. You get a whole week to be prideful. So we try to put each game behind us, but to know that we can play at that level and set a new expectation for ourselves each week has been a great tool. And we just I can tell you right now, our defensive staff is all in on Baylor, all about Baylor right now, and to win a game like that at home is awesome, and it's going to be a memorable one, and I hope Cougar Nation loves it. But we owe it to ourselves to stay locked in and prepare for Baylor.
Okay, thanks, John. Looks like that's all the questions we have for you today.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Yep, thank you.